You're right. A lot of the whole market every day is spending an enormous amount of expending a lot of energy thinking or worrying or considering about the future market, which is difficult to predict. One thing that a few things I guess that we think are sensible for the municipalities in the market to think about is it starts with the customer. The customer is where this starts with. If customers are unhappy and they now have options, which they do, changes have happened, then customers will leave these networks. So our view is that by facilitating or opening up wheeling to the marketplace, you're able to provide a viable and competitive option to customers that are in these networks to want to stay on the network. They are happy. They're getting access to cleaner, more affordable solutions, whether it's us or from our competitors. And so as a result, those customers will have an incentive to stay on that grid. There's a lot of there's a lot of topics and items that need to be thought about by customers when they leave the grid. It's a big decision. I've got to now go and build an embedded generator. I've got to find land, EIAs. It can be complex business decisions for these customers, and it's outside typically their core focus of business. So, I think keeping the customer in mind, making sure that they are happy, I think is one of the best ways to future-proof the business and obviously the municipalities themselves. So I think that would be my main response to that. We think as a result of that, we believe that municipalities really need to think about how they can work with us and the market to open up some of these networks, because there is, we think, quite often a misunderstanding around how much benefit there is to municipalities from facilitating this, and whilst in the medium term preserving that customer set and future-proofing their business. I'll give you an example. In other countries like Turkey, where or developed markets where there'd been big market design changes, ultimately it often resulted in some of these municipal or downstream networks being auctioned off. They were auctioned off in liberalization periods because the market design changed. External forces like, let's say, IMF funding or integration with, in the example of Turkey, with the rest of Europe for transmission, they had to actually comply to all of those regulations. And for that to happen, ultimately, a lot of the local and municipal networks were auctioned off in some form of an auction. And I think that's quite. It's on the other extreme. I don't think we'd get there in South Africa, but it is just to say that without change happening for positive, customers get wary, and bigger picture changes can happen. Where government or gets frustrated, or external forces create this change that's needed. And so we think that moving towards a more open market on its own would help solve that and preserve the municipal networks as they are, as a force for good for the country.